Da 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 da. All right, we hitting it live, kids. Warsaw should be with us in just a minute, and while he kind of waiting on Warsaw, let me kind of get my stuff together here. Ron Gun up, my brother. So we're just going live for a hangout, just to chill, maybe shoot the breeze about I don't know anything going on right now. There's so much going on as far as court cases and gun laws. It is hearings. DJ, what's up, my brother? It's freaking hard to keep up with everything right now. Because there's just so much that's going on. We streamed all of Colorado's hearings yesterday, but at the same time, the Duncan v. Bonta was going on in the Ninth Circus. So we streamed that today after we got done streaming the Maryland assault weapons ban today in the Fourth Circuit. Oh my God. And if you guys didn't listen to the hearings today out of the Fourth Circuit, the big en banc panels, there were two. There was the Maryland assault weapons ban, and another one was about removing serial numbers on firearms. And Jesus, man, there's probably two judges that you could listen to on the Fourth Circuit that seem like they have some sense and would actually follow the Constitution. And the rest of them, it's just all about their opinion. It is absolute insanity. So, hold on, what War sent me? You know, the vids on Russian gun ownership. And I'm going to let, when Warsaw gets in, I'm basically going to let him run the stream. He wanted to look at some stuff basically over like gun culture in Russia. Just look at some different stuff. Brooke, my sister, how's it going? Yeah, I know. Everybody's opinions are like buttholes. Everybody stinks but mine. Yeah, that's what I'd say about them. Oh, man. Oh, Brooke, hopefully you're having a good day. BV, DJ, Run Gun, freaking hopefully all you guys are having a good day so far. I know some of you guys were in the stream earlier, streaming these oral arguments, and my God, that just gets painful. I'm wondering how dumb you have to be a judge. I'm just wondering, because yeah, you're right about that, Brooke. Although I think some people shouldn't be 6 foot above the ground, but just me. Oh man, it's been one of those crazy days. I'd almost forgotten that these arguments were happening today and streamed those. We streamed some stuff out of a hearing in Congress about Joe Biden today, just to kind of for filler because this is the stuff I listen to at work a lot of times. So I just decided to share it with the crowd. At least that way I can chat with you guys and it kind of alleviates some pressure and my students don't think I just have Tourette's the entire day while I'm listening to it. Because other than that, I'm walking around snarling and growling. Let's see. Warsaw said, which when he gets in, we'll open this stuff up. Oh, good God. You guys are an absolute hoot, and I love you guys to death. Warsaw, I'm not seeing it, and where are you at? Apparently, Warsaw's running behind, so I'm the basic clown show right now. I'll sing, dance, maybe tap dance, maybe I can juggle. No, other than that, it's just a hangout stream tonight, guys. Like I said, Warsaw is going to he wants to look at some stuff. We're going to run over that. More than likely won't be long tonight. Todd Vandermeid is actually going live tonight at 10 on a stream, and I'll be in there. If you're not following Freedom's Steel, you need to be following Todd. He's a great dude. Uh, I'll definitely be in the chat for that one. And there's some stuff we're trying to kind of get together, step by step to do some stuff. So, okay, Warsaw got that one through. Warsaw, why are you texting me? Get on the stream. He's sending me stuff. Apparently, he's invisible today. Let's see. Matt, what's up, my brother? Let's see. La, da, 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 da. Let's go with this one. Let me see. So with these, Warsaw, I'm going to have to be careful about some of this because I don't want to damn be catching strikes or something. So, but we're going to look at these. And there's something a lot of people haven't realized. Even in Russia, there is a pretty big gun culture. Now they're regulated to a very high degree. They've kind of got to go, from what I understand, they have to kind of go through steps of gun ownership. So they might start out where they get their license for a shotgun, and then they can move up to a rifle after that. Then they can move on to certain semi-automatics, and they have to work through this progression to be able to own firearms, work through pump actions. It's crazy, I know, but it is what it is. This is Russia we're talking about. So, but Warsaw wanted to look at a couple of these and kind of compare and contrast some of the differences in between, say, American gun ownership and gun ownership in other countries. Because there are a lot of people who don't live inside the United States, but they absolutely love firearms and freedom. And it's just something to look at, to kind of, again, compare and contrast. And I will say this, if we are not careful, if we are not paying attention, well, we're going to end up in a position where our gun rights are going to be trampled, and you might have to jump through every hoop in the world just to be able to own your average semi-automatic firearm. Look at Colorado. Look at the Delaware assault weapon or Maryland assault weapons ban we listened to today, and listen to some of these judges that know exactly jack about firearms, but they can decide whether or not you can own your own legally purchased property and whether or not you go to prison for owning said property. And yes, Brooke, most of America is absolutely asleep. And what's the real pisser behind that sometimes is the vast majority of these people will fight you tooth and nail to stay asleep. Again, this bill in Colorado, we listened to the hearings yesterday. Calling this an assault weapons ban is insane because they try to define assault weapons, and everybody thinks big black scary rifle. It would ban a Glock, no different than what I carry every day if it had a threaded barrel. So handgun can accept a detachable magazine, has a threaded barrel, like a couple of the handguns that I built. That's an assault weapon, then that's illegal. It's now Warsaw, they will absolutely fight you to stay that way. And you'll see it because you'll bring up facts to them. They'll say, "Oh, we want to ban all these guns," and you can show them what to be banned in a bill, and they'll go, "No, no, that's not happening." No, it is happening in that bill. Yeah, well, at certain points in my life, I was kind of asleep too, but not to the degree of a lot of people. I'll say that. All right, let's share this. Let's take a look at this. This is one of the first videos Warsaw sent me.
Surrounded by Russians with guns. How is this possible? I was raised to believe that in Russia you couldn't own a gun. Find out what the rules are. Find out what reality is right now.
And that's something that I didn't realize the gun culture in Russia until Jim Fuller. I was watching an interview with him, and he went over to Russia, obviously to deal with people in the firearms industry and kind of work some stuff out on kits and it was crazy what he talked about. I didn't think Russia was quite that big on arms, but they damn sure are.
Oh, and welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American.
Are you filming?
I am now.
Nice.
Предохранитель над крючком поставить.
Предохранитель вниз надо опустить.
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles.
The
online action game War Thunder has received a major update.
Not just shoot here, you can something like that. This is rifle barrel guns, so they can shoot faster, they can shoot more accurate, and they can shoot for better distances than just the shotguns.
Wow.
So here we can see different AS systems, AK systems, with the scopes, with the modifications.
In America, we have common size like 12 gauge, 10 gauge.
The same you have in the United
The
States.
same.
With normal license, you can have totally 10. Entry age is also increased. Before it was 18, now it's 21. You must buy a set.
Yeah, so even Russia went to 21 to be able to own these arms. And Russia does have some very interesting calibers and gauges. There's one of theirs that I'm trying to find. I tried to look up the specs on the other day, and it's very similarly shaped to a 7.62 by 39, but it's actually a shotgun round. And I still got to figure out all the specs on it, but I'm trying to find more information on it. But it's a cool round.
Safe and put it in home. The normal handguns like in the United States or in Europe, it's not possible to buy. You can rent it in shooting club. You will see it right now. There is a huge assortment. All popular models are available, but for the citizen, we have the, let's say, non-lethal weapon using
weapon.
rubber bullet. For example, I carry this pistol. It's made on base of Slovak gunpowder pistol, but you see the different. It's a Makarov, Tokarev, Glock, any kind of pistol, and it's used as special cartridges with rubber bullets.
Rubber bullets, non-lethal.
Now let's.
That's interesting. I mean, I think it actually sucks in reality, but it's kind of interesting to see. I'd be interested to see what the licensing looks like for that. For him to be able to carry this thing that is, for all intents and purposes, a gun, but the only thing he can shoot through it are rubber bullets. Why the mafia in Russia uses any fucking thing they want. Sure. Makes sense. You can't have rubber bullets in CT. That doesn't surprise me. It amazes me states that will actually restrict hollow points. Because you're in a self-defense situation. I want that round to release every bit of its energy in the target without over penetrating and hitting something that I don't want to damn shoot. So restricting hollow points makes zero sense to me. But I mean, a lot of stuff don't make a lot of sense to me.
See the most accurate examples of firearms that you can buy actually here. The
Okay.
company that produces special sniper long distance.
That
Oh, it's
looks
really-
like a barrel
Fire?
of fun.
Yes, yes.
Dude, come on, man. At least shoulder the gun. Don't just put it under your armpit. Brooke, I found your next client. He needs to learn how to shoot.
Man.
Bespoke produces different hunting and practical shooting firearms. For example, Bespoke Elegance. Can you show it? So that is not a military firearm, but it also can shoot accurate for a kilometer and even longer distance.
This is hunter rifle.
This hunter rifle.
So an
for
easy
hunting
1,000-yard
different
gun.
animals with-
Really?
yeah, with accurate shots. For example, with this rifle, you can go in the mountains and shot different animals that would not allow you to go to them very close. Not a special
Caliber
forces,
was that?
they can be bought by anyone with a license and with a 5-year of shooting with normal just guns, like we saw at another store. Lowest price is about 1 mil of rubles. Yeah, about 10 grand of dollars.
Wow.
Yes, it is premium. So for this price, you can get a real great firearm that can fire with a long distance, much more longer distance that I'm pointing.
So roughly 10 grand, you can get a higher end rifle there. I could probably shoot the same distances with a $1,400 Ruger Precision. Okay. Fun. But hey, they got people there that will pay it because they are into firearms. They just don't have the freedoms that we are giving away right now.
My finger here, not at the trigger. I'm cocked, I aim, I'm making a decision that I want to shoot. And only after that decision, I can put my finger to the trigger and pull it. All right? Also, we cannot take off our glasses and our headphones at the shooting. There are pieces of little pieces of metal that can come back to us. It can be pieces of bullets or pieces of the targets. They're very, very small, but if they hit your eye, you will have not an eye. It was produced in Russia in the beginning of 21st century. This is the brand new Lebedev pistol. It was bought by Russian police, Rosgvardia, MVD in the last year, so it is very new. Here we have a Strish called Strike 1. It is a Glock type pistol. It was produced by Russian engineers and Italian engineers. And this is, of course, classic Glock 21. He fires these big boys, 21st auto, very, very huge gauge with a huge kickback.
So I'm guessing that's a 40 or a 10 mil for them. Okay, out of the way.
That was super cool. This particular weapon right here, you can't even feel it. It is very, very smooth. You squeeze a round off and you can barely feel it. This bad boy right here, this one has a little more kick to it. This one knows, you know you shot a handgun. But I'm really impressed
by your Reagan pistol.
with this one right here. And this is the older
yes,
technology.
Makarov, it's only 8 rounds. It's not so easy to shoot and to compete with the shooter with modern pistol. So it was the first modern pistol certified like sport pistol for Russian shooters.
Wow. This one looks for me like Gesha 18.
Gesha
18. Is that something related to it?
it only looks like the same, but it have other pistol. This is a little bit Glock type pistol, but it is better than Glock because you see we have safety, we have lock system at the right side, and also we have it at the right at the left side. So
it's an ambidextrous Glock with a manual safety. Congratulations. All right, let me answer this.
if you're right-hand man or even if you're left-hand man, you can operate this pistol with one hand.
I used to be the shooter myself in times of university.
Nice.
And I do shoot from the pistols, actually.
Nice.
So let's remember the old days, good old days.
Yeah.
So your tasks are all white targets at the bottom, okay?
Только мы стреляли из мелкого калибра на 50 метров.
Your firearm is ready.
Вот так.
You can try this one. Aim. Shooter ready?
In any target?
Any target, any white target. Ready?
Yep.
Fire!
Why are you doing it one-handed instead of two-handed?
I'm used to do that because I was firing from the small caliber. And we were shooting at the higher distances, 50 meters mostly. And it was completely different technique. And
Okay. Did I hit it?
No, you did not. But you enjoyed it. Yep, push it to the end.
I feel like it's gonna like smack me in the face.
It will not, I'm sure.
But I'm not
Well-
hitting anything.
Pull the trigger nice and softly. If you will kick it, you would not get the target. Yep,
Nice.
that's the way.
It feels good to hit it. Should I do the center now?
Yep. Yep, got it. Right one.
I got it.
Left one.
I got it.
No, but the left one is dings.
Okay.
It sounds better than other targets. Yep.
Nice. Let me try this one again. Very powerful feeling. For sure.
The 21st caliber.
Is known as trench gun. It's takedown shotgun, single shot rifle, spring-filled, 8073 model in 4570 government caliber. This rifle was used by General Custer during the legendary battle at Little Bighorn against the Indians,
Wow.
for example. Of course, it's not original one; it's a replica
Right.
made by Peter Sole in Italy, but it's the exact copy of this rifle. It's single shot rifle, trapdoor, Springfield trapdoor model.
Very cool, Johnny.
The hero of a lot of Western movie. It's 1873 Winchester, of course, the replica made by Tuberti in Italy. But it's one of my preferred guns, lever action. I don't shoot modern gun. I shoot only old West era, based on the Colt single action army revolver, the Peacemaker, legendary Peacemaker. You can see in any cowboy movie, but it's just a rifle. I have 3 pair of cowboy revolver, single action revolver in my shooting club.
Oh wow.
They produce some kind of Kalashnikov in the United States. Maybe even Dragunov is produced, but Dragunov not produced only in Soviet Union. It was Yugoslav, it was Chinese.
they tend to buy the original ones, not to.
Of course, everyone.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
1942.
Oh, not so.
During the war. So it's only semi-automatic, unfortunately, because it's a civil gun. So it's considered like hunting carbine. It's not full after, but you just can try to move your trigger finger as fast as you can.
Okay.
to feel it like a machine gun.
1 bullet per squeeze.
Exactly.
And so it's on my shoulder. I lean in.
Target number 7.
Target number 7. I'm 49. I don't
So
see
we
anything.
have 4 targets. It's on the right.
Okay. The one on the right? Okay. I'm supposed to line it up. I can squeeze. Ready? I don't know. Is it going to hurt my face?
No,
It could.
it's quite safe.
I like your honesty, Pavel.
But keep pressing the shoulder. Why? It's my advice. Look.
Nothing's happening.
Your finger will be here. It's safe.
Oh, it's a safety. Okay. Got it.
You need to push it.
Still good. Did I hit anything?
Try to make it faster.
Did I hit anything?
Definitely.
Okay, I'm halfway getting back.
Anything was
Oh,
hit directly.
Everybody's calling me and everybody decided to wake up and start messaging me. Where am I at?
6 is mine.
Ready or not, here I come. This is definitely not the sniper rifle. Here you can see the classic Mosin rifle, the sniper version of it.
I think I'm getting on top of everything.
From the first
Maybe, kind of,
World
sort
War. And
of.
this round, I don't know, do you familiar
What's up,
with
my
that?
brother?
It looks like a
Agorize. What's
shell.
happening?
This shell, this round, this ammunition was used for the first ever machine gun, the Maxim machine gun, which was made by the American that immigrate to the UK to be able to do whatever he wants. And he made the first ever machine gun. This round is exactly the same as it was 150 years ago or something like that.
Wow.
And still, this round is used for the latest we got here weapon, the Dragunov sniper rifle. So massively produced, so widely spread that they just decided not to change anything. This is my results from the Mosin sniper rifle.
Okay, so you did a good job.
I did a good job. Don't
Okay.
look at that, it go all the way high, because the main thing is the distance between the points, I don't know.
Okay.
So I not the guy that used to fire from this rifle, so for me, just the scope need to be a little bit regulated to shoot lower, and that's it.
Kalashnikov?
Oh, this
Your
dude's
target
killing me.
is far, far away. Do not choose the closer one.
Oh, wow. That is far away.
Is that a Dragunov he's shooting?
One more?
One more try.
Surprise.
Almost looks like it from here.
So I
Yes.
this off?
Yes, you detach the magazine. Yes.
That I don't believe is a PSL for sure.
A little bit, yeah. Back and do not follow the bolt. You just leave it.
Ah, okay,
Really?
like that.
Yes, and trigger check. You aim the gun downrange and you push the trigger. Yes, unload it.
Rubber bullets.
Rubber bullets, yes.
Nice.
In barrel. Do you see?
Oh, yeah, you can see all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Let's do it, Johnny. Getting hit by shells. Wow.
Some gems.
I did not
That's
realize how important the gun.
just. The shells were bouncing off my chest. That's brass. And yes, they bounce everywhere. I don't mean to make fun of them. I promise you, I don't mean to make fun of them. Dude doesn't seem like he's real high speed when it comes to firearms, but hey, thanks for doing the content in Russia. All right, what else did Warsaw send me? Gun laws and culture in Russia. Let's do this. Hold on, let me get back and actually share this out right. Rubbers for comedy. What's up, Fire? Yes, it is. Actually, it's latex these days. Hold on, Warsaw's in. What's up, Warsaw?
Welcome to Mother Russia.
Yeah, we're fixing to play the next video, so yeah, you fit to see some more Mother Russia. PLA,
Yeah.
what's up, my brother? Good to see
Again,
you.
Coop, I
Again.
apologize. I'm trying to warm up my food.
Nah, dude, you're fine, man. I wanted to go ahead and do these because I'm gonna cut this one probably about the time the wife gets home, so she doesn't drown me.
Well, of course, then we got Todd's stream coming up soon.
Yeah, and then Todd's stream will be tonight, and I'll share that out definitely before we're off this one.
Today we continue to talk about gun culture in Russia and move on to the present day. From the previous video, we learned that the USSR people were accustomed to guns from childhood. All schools and parks had their own shooting ranges, and they were taught to disassemble and assemble rifles at school. Nevertheless, only hunters, professional sports shooters, military personnel, or very high-ranking people could own firearms. In 1991, this whole system collapsed, and the long-awaited freedom came to Russia with Boris Yeltsin. And we know that freedom equals guns. So let's find out how things are in modern Russia with firearms training, what are the conditions under which Russian citizens can own a gun, and most importantly, are there more personally owned guns in the country compared to the USSR? Well, one thing is certain. Right after the collapse of the Soviet Union in the 90s, ordinary citizens had much more guns than before.
I gotta ask this question just for the class. Does freedom equal guns, or do guns actually equate to more freedom? Because I would argue that the guns kind of protect the freedom end of it. It doesn't come the other way around unless something seriously catastrophic happens.
That's also a question that would be added to the time of when Germany was divided too, Coop. Remember when the Berlin Wall was being made? They had a choice, well, freedom versus sausage, and they all went for sausage over freedom.
Oh, yeah. It's which in the Soviet Union really wasn't giving people a whole hell of a lot of choice at that particular time.
Just walking down the street. This guy has a gun, and that guy has a gun, and this one has a gun. Oh, wait, he just walked into some kind of showdown between local gangs. Yes, weapons became much more accessible in the 90s, but it wasn't because of some new laws, it was about rampant crime. Naturally, today we will talk about it, but briefly. After all, the reasons were obvious. We will focus more on how the state tried to regulate the circulation of weapons in Russia, and why, despite everything, today's laws on gun ownership in Russia are in some respects even stricter than they were in the Soviet Union.
So notice this, and this is a point to hit. As strict as everything was in the Soviet Union, and then, of course, moving back to Russia after the fall of the wall and the collapse of the Soviet Union, they still restricted the right to own firearms, but all the criminals still had the firearms. Just a point to make. It doesn't matter whether it's a gun law in the United States, doesn't matter if it's gun law somewhere else. Criminals are going to crime. That's the way they work. Colorado, since we just listened to y'all dumbasses last night.
Let's talk first about the notorious gun culture, and then about the peculiarities of gun ownership and storage. We'll compare it with the USSR, where the majority of guns were owned by hunters, but most people knew how to handle them from childhood. By the way, for a better understanding of this video, watch the previous one as well. So, what has changed since 1991? First, the attitude of people towards the potential free sale of firearms, it has not changed. The majority of Russians do not support the free sale of weapons, believing that the sale of firearms should be strictly controlled. Look, the phrase gun culture can have two definitions. In the first one, a gun is seen as a tool for the defense of oneself, loved ones, property, and dignity. A gun is simply an object, a dangerous one, which is needed for certain purposes: hunting, self-defense, sport. The second definition of gun culture is something near religious, more like a gun cult, where guns are a symbol of masculinity.
Why am I already finding this annoying?
It's Russia, my friend. It's not like the United States. They see things totally different.
Oh, I know, but these people in the United States think this way also. It's a sign of masculinity. See you with a gun. Sorry about your dick. No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's the fact that I like to defend myself, or I like to go shoot, and it's more than a minor annoyance a lot of times. I'll put it that way.
Power, the status of the head of the family, and an indicator that its owner is a protector.
Dragon Man, I know
As
that.
you can
too.
guess, the second type of culture is quite widespread in the United States. But in Russia, the first type of attitude towards guns is much more common. Russian gun culture is unique in that it is largely devoted to military use in defense of the homeland rather than civilian ownership. To be honest, there has never been a particularly strong demand for widespread civilian gun ownership. So the question of allowing free circulation of weapons or completely banning them has never been high on the Russian agenda. But the question of whether to train children in this field was much more controversial.
That's because Russia relies on conscripted soldiers for a lot of their wars. And of course, they want those kids at least minorly trained in the use of arms.
USSR weapons handling was taught at school. In the 90s, the subject of primary military training was cancelled, and instead of it, a class of objet was introduced. Gas masks and medical tourniquets were transferred to this course, but shooting and assembling and disassembling AK-47s were not. Shooting ranges at school were closed. Specialized shooting ranges with air rifles in parks are still there, but far fewer than before. Zarnitsa games in children's camps have also become much less militarized, if not disappeared entirely. In general, children in modern Russia are taught much less about handling weapons, although this may change. In November of 2022, the head of the Ministry of Education of the Russian Federation, Sergei Kravtsov, told journalists that in the next academic year in Russian schools it is planned to introduce a mandatory course of the primary military training within the course of objet. The changes will be applied from September 1st, 2024. We'll see how.
So that was introduced in 2022, right? That's what it said.
You got me.
Putin hit Ukraine in what, 14?
He invaded it during 2014. Yeah, it was the January 2014, right after Ukraine's original government was taken down by a coup.
And then, stuff's been running hot for a little while. Then it kind of calmed down. And then, of course, after Joe Biden took office, everything he did right the fuck back up. So they needed a ton of conscript soldiers. No wonder why they would start that back up in school.
How it's implemented this time around. So, the difference between modern Russia and the Soviet Union is at least that the age of acquaintance with weapons among Russians has increased dramatically. Now they won't give it to you at school, but what about adulthood? Has it become easier to buy a personal weapon?
We are GPS and Track, and we had a skid steer stolen this morning and recovered about an hour later.
Thank you.
Moving forward to 1993. It was then that the Soviet gun law was amended for the first time in Russia. Let me remind you that under it, only smoothbore hunting shotguns and air rifles could be purchased. The first amendments were introduced by the Law on Arms of May 20, 1993, and refer to the right of citizens to defend themselves with the use of special means of tear and irritant action, including gas weapons. In fact, this was a serious step, for until then, citizens had no right to self-defense with weapons, at all. During the Soviet period of the state's history, self-defense was not considered to be one of the intended purposes of civilian weapons. The law on arms adopted in 1993 also introduced the concept of civilian firearms for the first time. This law was revised and replaced by the current federal law on weapons of December 13th, 1996. According to this document, for self-defense, citizens can purchase smoothbore long-barreled weapons, as well as firearms of limited effect, pistols, revolvers, barrelless weapons with cartridges of traumatic gas and flashbang action. The same law set the minimum age for the purchase of any weapon at 18 years of age, and clearly defined the need for and procedure of medical examination. At the same time, the law provided that the authorities of the constituent entities of the Federation could lower the minimum age for keeping and carrying, but not buying, smoothbore hunting weapons to 16.
Make no mistake, there are politicians in America that would be way stricter on us than Russia. Okay.
18 years of age. However, the law was far from perfect. Since 1996, it has been amended more than 30 times, and the latest changes came into effect only about a year ago. Therefore, of course, we will not review all these changes. We will deal with the most important ones.
PPSH.
The law on weapons separates civilian, service, combat firearms, and cold weapons. For Russian citizens who are not members of law enforcement agencies, only civilian and cold weapons are available. So, what are the basic conditions for owning a weapon in Russia? Analyzing the content of the Article 13th of the Federal Law on Weapons, we can distinguish three main groups of requirements and conditions imposed on citizens of Russia to grant them the right to purchase weapons. Two of the groups under consideration relate directly to the applicant, the third relates to the condition of storage of weapons. The first group defines the candidate's personal background. Necessary conditions here are reaching of age of majority, passing the primary training for the possession of weapons, and the absence of medical contraindications.
Does that not sound like gun laws trying to get passed in the United States right now?
Pretty much.
The second group concerns the social status of the applicant for the purchase of weapons. These may include the presence of Russian citizenship and the absence of legal obstacles to such acquisition. Such obstacles are unexpunged conviction for a deliberate crime, deprivation of the right to purchase weapons on the basis of a court decision, serving a sentence for a crime committed, or a repeat within 1 year commission of an administrative offense that infringes on public order or the established order of governance. Finally, the third group of requirements and conditions for legally owning a weapon are the requirements to the conditions of its storage. Such conditions include the presence of a permanent place of residence of the potential owner of the weapon, as well as his ability to ensure the proper safety of the acquired weapon at the specified place of residence. Anyone wishing to purchase a weapon must submit a certain package of documents to the licensing service, undergo training in the rules of safe handling of weapons, and then pass an examination on them. Yes, the right to distribute licenses for weapons was taken away from the Hunters Society in 2010 and given to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. And then 6 years later, they gave it to the Rosguardia when it was created. And to be even more precise, stricter control over the circulation of weapons was one of the main tasks assigned to the new department. After issuing a license to buy a gun, the license is valid for 6 months, during which you need to buy a gun. Regardless of whether you buy it from an official seller or just from some guy, the purchase will need to be formalized in the store. They take your license
Universal
and give you a
background
duplicate
checks.
of the weapon and passport for it. The purchased weapon must be brought to the territorial department of the Rosguardia, where it will be inspected and registered. After that, it will be possible to obtain a permit for storage and carrying of weapons, if it's required. From the age of 18, you can purchase only smoothbore weapons. Then you need to gain 5 years of smoothbore experience, after which you will be able to purchase a rifled weapon. The owner must report the law.
Now that's where I was talking about. I've got to find the gun. It is functionally an AK. It's not like a Saiga or something like that. And the round it uses is very similar to a 7.62 by 39, but it's a shot shell and fired from a smooth bore. Watching someone shoot it, you can't tell that it's not a standard AK. But again, they got to get 5 years of smooth bore experience. I got to find that round. It'd be a cool round to have.
Loss or theft of a weapon subject to registration to the Rosguardia within 24 hours. In addition, the Rosguardia has the right to inspect a citizen's weapon at any time. For example, to check whether the owner has made any illegal modifications to the weapon.
Tired of spending money on disposable lighters? Then this
No, I'm
innovative
tired
lighter
of
is
your
for you.
commercials.
This new incredible electric.
That's what I'm tired of.
What weapons can be legally bought and carried in Russia? Russia does not provide for the legal possession of short-barreled combat weapons, pistols and revolvers, as well as any weapons with an automatic mode of fire by citizens. Such weapons are an exclusive right of the state law enforcement agencies. Subject to obtaining a special license, citizens can legally purchase hunting weapons, self-defense weapons, sporting weapons, signal weapons, and some cold weapons. Unlike in the USSR, hunting weapons can be purchased both smoothbore and
You're just
rifle.
riding on a train,
Smoothbore
shooting
weapons
any bird
include
that
classic
flies up.
double-barreled and single-barreled shotguns, semi-automatic shotguns, pump-action shotguns, and other manually reloadable multiple-shot shotguns. Rifled weapons include rifles and carbines. Among the hunting rifled weapons, there are a lot of weapons converted from army models and sometimes different little from the prototypes. A Russian hunter can easily own a carbine based on a Kalashnikov assault rifle or some foreign assault rifle. The main requirement is the absence of automatic fire capability and a magazine capacity of no more than 10 rounds. In addition, for hunting...
So, are the anti-gun people in this country just taking notes from Russia at this point?
Not just Russia, but Europe too.
Oh, yeah. Freaking the UK, yes. Knowing these... no, I won't go there right now.
Hunting weapons, there are restrictions on the size, minimum length, and types of ammunition used. Army ammunition.
So that's basically an AK without a pistol grip.
That, my friend, is a Sega right there. You know, the old Russian Segas that came from imports originally?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Ammunition is prohibited. Self-defense weapons. Non-lethal pistols and revolvers with rubber bullets, gas pistols, pistols with light and noise cartridges, and some tasers. Sporting weapons, smoothbore rifles for bench rest and practical shooting, and sporting rifles for biathlon, for example. There are also some interesting aspects here. For example, you can legally buy a rifle pistol, but you won't have the right to carry it. A short barrel belonging to you must be kept exclusively in a shooting club or at a shooting range. Or cold weapons. For example, you can carry weapons that have cultural value only with historical costumes and during events that are organized by the authorities with the permission of the Ministry of Culture. That is, for example, a Cossack saber, shashka only with...
So if I dress like I'm going to the fair, I can carry a sword.
If you're pretty much not, how was it called? It's like the reenactment. If you're not part of the reenactment, then you're not going to be getting that.
Oh, well, damn the bad luck. I'd look like I was at a fucking fair the whole time.
With a Cossack costume. In addition, some weapons can be bought without a license. Low caliber and weak air guns, old, antique collectible weapons, copies and replicas of weapons, decommissioned deactivated weapons, some stun guns, utility knives, as well as fencing rapiers and other sports equipment. According to Rosguardia, in 2020, this is the most recent information, there were almost 6.5 million guns legally possessed by 3.7 million people. There are, of course, illegal guns in the country. The Geneva Institute for International and Development Studies estimates that Russians have illegally bought and kept up to 11 million guns. Whether these figures can be trusted is debatable, but the fact that there are enough illegal guns in the country is obvious. For comparison...
What did you say, Warsaw?
Pause here for a sec. Apart from that, what you just said right there, how many illegal guns are out there? I bet there's a lot more than just that because... mind you, this is Russia. This is, Russian mob and Bratva territory. So I actually have a video I want to share with you, Coop, after we're done with this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this dude's holding an MG42 right here.
They got a lot of those in Russia they captured during the Second World War.
Yes, they do. And I would so much like to have one.
Legal guns in the country is obvious.
Scorpion.
For comparison, in the United States, according to various estimates, there are between 150 million and 450 million guns on hand. Once again, this is a reflection
Rookie
of the
numbers.
development of gun culture in Russia. A fairly small percentage of the population is interested in owning a gun. 2.5% of the population owns them. Let's say even another 7.5% would like to own a gun, but they don't or own it illegally. The other 90% of people don't really care about guns. Again, compare this with the US, where 30% of the adult population own a gun and another 36% do not rule out owning one in the future. By the way, Russia is firmly in first place in the world in terms of the number of firearms owned by law enforcement agencies. Both China and the United States are behind. The stats on types of weapons are also interesting. In 2019, Russians had on hand, legally, 4.4 million units of smoothbore weapons, 970,000 rifled, 925,000 traumatic, non-lethal, 310,000 gas pistols and revolvers, and 5.5 thousand pneumatic weapons. It should be noted that the statistics include only relatively powerful pneumatic weapons, with a muzzle energy of more than 7.5 joules. Anything less powerful can be bought without a license.
So they're basically locking you down to a 0.117 pellet rifle. Thanks for that.
And there are many more such weapons owned. If we analyze specifically the sales for 2020, pneumatic weapons are more than 50% of total sales. Since 2014, the import of civilian weapons into Russia has been banned, so Western weapons have become much more expensive than domestic or Turkish ones, and are sold only on the secondary market. The peculiarities of gun storage in Russia are also interesting. Weapons can only be stored at home in a special safe, with ammunition stored separately and locked with a separate lock.
Tell me why that sounds familiar.
It sounds like Canadian. That sounds like a Canadian style.
Well, not just Canadian, brother. There are plenty of bills there are bills right now in the federal Congress that are the same way. And yes, these safe storage bills, Ethan's laws, and a couple others would allow the police to come into your home and inspect at any reason for any time. And if a gun was not stored properly, well, they get to fine you. I think it was $400 per gun, and take your gun.
It's enforceable, though. Yeah, maybe some pockets here and there, but on a mass scale, I don't think it's going to be enforceable.
On a mass scale, well, one of the kickers to it is anybody could basically report you. So I piss off someone on the internet. I'm bound to do it. I'm me. And they say, this guy, Coop, he doesn't store his guns right. You guys need to go look him up. Cops come in the house. I've got a receiver sitting there that I've been working on for the last couple of days. A shotgun receiver over there. Oh, well, wait a second. That receiver's a firearm. That's a $400 fine. We could take that shit and, well, you get to fuck off. That's literally the way that law is written. Do I think it will pass anytime soon? No. Give it 5 years. Not even that, depending on this next election. Yes, it'll pass.
How about the fact that it also hinders and violates the whole idea of castle doctrine and self-defense law?
Oh, well, when do these tyrants ever care about stuff like that, man?
Nope, but I even addressed it to Todd, and he agreed with me on that. Yep, nope, it hinders your right.
Well, it does, but again, when do they ever care about that?
Nope, they don't.
You heard some of the arguments from these fucking judges today.
My God.
Knowing good damn well what McDonald said, what Bruin said, what Heller 1, Heller 2 said, and they're still going off their own opinions.
They just want their agendas.
Yeah, and it's all about that agenda. And they do not care. They think anything that restrains the government's power, whether it's a state government or a federal government, oh, no, we can't do that. It restrains the government. Well, yes, that's the whole fucking point of a constitution, whether it's the state constitution or a federal constitution, is to restrain government. It's
why
not,
people-
those constitutions don't restrain my rights or your rights or one car's rights or anybody else's. They're
It's one of
supposed
the-
to restrain the government.
Well, it's also a checks and balances of, voting on democratic principles. You can vote all you want, what you want, but you also have the law itself stating what you can and can't do with that.
Yes. And see, these judges are supposed to be checks on that power. They're supposed to be the arbiters that go, hold on, wait a second. This law doesn't fit into this constitution. It's unconstitutional. You can't do it. And instead, they're up there with their rubber damn stamp, just fucking slapping the table. Okay, government. Yeah, just keep on rolling. It's for the children. If I hear that, oh, I'm definitely gonna puke. Fucking Christ, man.
In any case, it must not be accessible to other
What's
people.
up, brother Fluff?
For example, I have heard stories that the local policeman refused to sign a permit for weapons if the potential owner lived on the first floor and did not have bars installed on the windows to protect against thieves. Some police officers require safes to be bolted to the floor or wall so that they cannot be stolen. However, such cases are more like local excesses of the authorities. The owner is also obliged to transport the weapon only when it's unloaded, and it must be in a pouch, holster, or case. The cartridges must be kept separately. No more than 5 weapons may be transported at a time. All in all, this all sounds pretty normal, but lately the laws have gotten stricter.
Sounds pretty normal. Not to me, it don't.
Let's not forget this is Russia. They have a dictator.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I
On
know,
June 28th, 2021, the president signed.
Because trust me, this dude right here, Putin, is a very evil bastard. There's no lie about that. Do I believe we should be involved in conflicts, especially openly financing stuff against him? No, ain't our damn fight.
Signed the law number 231 on amendments to the federal law on weapons and certain legislative acts of the Russian Federation. And these rules seriously complicated the life of gun enthusiasts. As always, there were reasons for this. This time it was the mass murders at the college in Kerch in 2018 and at the school in Kazan in 2021.
Oh, who would
In
have
both
thought? They had
cases,
shootings
the
too.
attackers bought the weapons.
Yes. And those are just the ones that you hear about. Those aren't all the other ones that happen. And especially where they happen, the population where they happen, all the restraints on ownership that they have, they pretty much do one thing, and that is prove that gun laws are actually horseshit. Are you turning into Venom? You have a nice woodland pattern going.
It's mossy oak greenleaf.
It's mossy oak greenleaf.
Mossy oak greenleaf.
Wife's been hydro dipping, aka the devil's wrapping paper, as she calls it.
They can't see?
Well, they can probably see. I just didn't have it.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, it's not that big a deal. I was just curious. It's the devil's wrapping paper. I've got one more shot.
Of crime, both times Turkish, completely legally. Immediately after the second case, it was decided to tighten gun laws in the country. So, what changed? First, there is a clear division between smoothbore and rifled weapons now. For example, previously a weapon with only part of the barrel being rifled was considered smoothbore from the point of view of the law, and also guns with a barrel of a special shape giving rotation to the bullet. Now this loophole has been removed. A barrel bore that allows the bullet to rotate, and any rifling, regardless of its length, automatically puts the weapon in the category of rifled, which means that you can buy it only after 5 years of ownership of smoothbore. Also, guns are now considered a source of increased danger. This means that the owner of the gun is obliged to compensate for the damage caused by his gun, regardless of his own guilt. For example, if the owner left the gun unattended while hunting and another person damages some car with a shot from his gun, the owner of the gun will have to pay for it. The age limit for obtaining a license has also been raised. Previously, it was possible to buy a hunting weapon from the age of 18. Now it is only from the age of 21. In addition, if a person receives a license for the first time, now he can buy only smoothbore with a maximum of 2 barrels, without a magazine or cylinder. Only classic break barrel shotguns. Nevertheless, some categories of citizens can still buy weapons from the age of 18. For example, those who have completed compulsory military service, those serving or studying in state paramilitary organizations, representatives of indigenous peoples of the North, professional hunters, CIT guards, and employees of private security services. All other citizens from the age of 18 can purchase only gas, sporting, signaling, and hunting smoothbore weapons, but the latter only for sports, not for hunting. In addition, it has become much more difficult to obtain a weapon for people with a criminal record. Now, even those who have been involved in administrative offenses during the last year, for example, drunk driving or drug use, can be denied a license. Also, since recently, the maximum number of weapons that can be owned has been limited, 2 to 5, depending on the type. I don't know if this will help in curbing crime, especially since, according to many estimates, the black market for weapons in Russia.
Let me help this dude out. No, Russia's gun laws haven't slowed down crime, not one goddamn bit. So, no, the rest of it ain't gonna help either.
Is thriving. It is easy to buy weapons without a license, medical certificates, registration, and other formalities on the darknet, for example. Many illegal weapons have flowed into Russia from Donbass since 2014. In addition, the main sources of replenishment of the black market include the manufacture of combat weapons on the basis of decommissioned weapons, modification of civilian weapons into combat analogs, and smuggling from abroad. Some weapons enter the shadow market from criminal structures or from regions where active combat operations were conducted
Like bumblebee.
during the Second World War. It is very difficult to estimate the actual size of the black market today, so I won't pretend that I know this for sure.
Damn it, I was just about to back that up and get a freaking coffee. Never mind.
The issue of the ability to use weapons for self-defense is also pretty complicated. For example, any long-barreled weapon cannot be carried for self-defense, period. It can only be transported or carried, for example, to a hunting ground or shooting range. If you are attacked at home, you're welcome. Just go find the keys to the safe first, open the safe, get the gun, ammo, load, well, you get the idea. So only gas and non-lethal pistols are technically allowed to be carried on person for self-defense. At the same time, the law allows you to defend yourself with anything you want. A gun, hunting knife, shotgun, brick or grenade. As long as you legally
I just literally said you could defend yourself with a grenade.
Is that what he said?
That's okay. Hold on, we'll back it up. We'll put it to the class. And my wife's back here going, I want to buy a gun. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'd like to buy lots of guns.
At the same time, the law allows you to defend yourself with anything you want. A gun, hunting knife, shotgun, brick or grenade. As long as you...
I believe he said brick or grenade. I'm all for grenades for self-defense. You got the money?
You legally possess the grenade. You can defend yourself in any way that is not against the law. If you are subjected to violence that is dangerous to your life and health, you can harm or kill your attacker in any way you want. You will not be prosecuted.
Hold on, wait a second. Did we just break into a Marvel movie and Kingpin showed up?
Not against the law. If you are subjected to violence that is dangerous to your life and health, you can harm or kill your attacker in
Yep. We just went to Marvel and Kingpin just showed up.
any way
I'm serious. That's Kingpin.
you want. You will not be prosecuted. But
It looks like Wilson
if
Fisk
someone
from
is injured or
Daredevil.
killed as a result of your self-defense, the defender will have to prove that the actions of the attacker actually posed
Hold on. You coming at me with a knife in your hand like that, you're getting tattooed. Full stop.
a real threat to his life or health.
Yeah.
If you
you're
fail
toast.
to prove it, you may be held criminally liable, and you will be very lucky if it is the article exceeding the limits of necessary self-defense and not murder. If it comes to shooting, the law says you must first warn them that you have a gun and that you will shoot. Otherwise, again, you are exceeding the limits. Women, persons with obvious signs of disability, minors when their age is obvious or known, cannot be fired at. It is
Hold on. Oh, wait a
Then what's
second.
the whole
Wait a
point?
second.
That is so not as expensive as
Baby, we are never moving to Russia. Ever. Because if your ass goes crazy and you try to assault me with something in Russia, apparently it's illegal to defend myself against you. I just got to sit there and take that shit.
Hey, I told you a long time ago, my dad was offered the coaching job for Russia.
Yeah, I know he was.
Coop, here's a question I do have to ask you. Is your wife
What's that?
possibly related to the Romanov family?
Not that I know of.
That's, I think a wild guess.
But I
Ask
would
her.
love to see her in that outfit.
Can you ask her if she's related to the Romanovs?
Warsaw wants to know if you're related to the Romanovs.
I'm not inclined to share that information.
Her family does hail from Hungary. So
I'm not
just to let the class know.
I'm not inclined to share that information.
And that outfit is.
Black
Widow.
I was supposed to say it's not Bumblebee. It's not Bumblebee.
You hit yourself in the head with that screwdriver today, didn't you?
No, it was right between the tits.
Well, don't do that.
forbidden to take the weapon out of the holster or from the case if there are no grounds for its use. And there are only two grounds in the law: threat to life or health. Even if you are asked by a police officer to demonstrate your weapon, by law you cannot take it out of its holster in the city. Therefore, you should be extremely careful in self-defense. Unfortunately, in Russia, the principle of the one who is hurt the most is the victim. The one who first filed a report is not to blame. The criminal who attacked you with a knife can easily claim that he was just walking, and you just randomly shot him in the knee for no reason. Or that he was strolling with an axe from the store to his yard to chop wood. Go and try to prove that he almost took your head off with that axe.
It doesn't make any sense.
This is as bad as laws in Democrat cities. I'm telling you.
All right, Coop, if I want to say this, if you have a big ass gash in my arm or my leg and some guy used an axe on me and I got to prove in court, that should be evident enough.
If we're walking through the supermarket, say we're in a hardware store, I'll give the dude the benefit of the doubt that he just needed to buy an axe that particular day. However, if he is swinging the axe at you, actively hacking at you, and you shoot him, apparently that's questionable. Can't remember whether I have or not.
See the elk skull? That elk skull in his office.
No, I don't think I have seen it.
That's the guy who killed it. See the guy's got his son on it.
You won't. In short, don't even think about defending yourself with firearms in Russia unless it's a matter of life and death. You will go to jail 99% of the time, and also you will pay disability pension to the wounded for the rest of your life. Although in Russia there is a good saying, it is better to be judged by 3 than carried by 4.
Many conversations we have had.
Thanks for watching, and as always, a huge shout out to my biggest Patreon supporters.
What gun and hold on, we gotta hit this. What gun did you have in your shop, the Galil, the other day?
Galil.
The SAR Galil paratrooper version.
Oh, it was FN.
The FN, yes. You had that gun in your shop. Extremely sexy. I didn't hear you talking forever about buying that one, but you're worried about a Weatherby Mark V bolt gun. You are a FUD.
Because I want to go elk hunting.
What is your carry gun?
It's a 1911.
You're a FUD.
What gun did you want to buy after you got your shit?
Hey, look, we're not talking about me.
It was a 1911.
We're not talking about me.
What gun did you want to buy after that?
The first
wait a
gun I
minute.
bought after I got my rights back was a 1911.
Oh, wait. I'm pretty sure it was that 30-06 Remington 700. Huh.
No. The first gun I bought was a 1911.
I was talking about after that one.
After that one, yes, was a Remington 700. But I'm still not a FUD like you.
Coop, you want to see those two videos I sent you? I sent an email. The ones with the arrests, the Russian police force.
How would you fix that?
If their gun laws work, dude, you not see this out there, dude.
Hold on, let me pull it up. No, you texted it to me, right?
I texted it to you and I emailed it to you.
I didn't see the email, but let me pull it up because I pulled it up in my
There's one guy gets arrested, and then there's a whole bunch of guys get arrested.
He looked at my hands and he goes, "Mama, your hands are dirty."
Yeah, we'll watch these two and we'll end it here. How's that?
Yeah. We'll end it right after these two. Hold on, because
and by the way, that question I asked your wife, I wasn't being rude or disrespectful. Just it's making a
no, brother, no. Don't even worry about that.
Because apparently I looked at my lineage. I'm related to Paul the First.
All right, let's see. Let me get back to the right damn tab right here. And we're going to see just how well gun laws have worked out in Russia. My bet is not so good.
Nope. This is the mass mobsters. This is the Bratva and also other Russian mafias.
Mob reporter here with an interesting glimpse into the venerable Russian underworld.
Look at that.
Russian gangsters. The
Krikov 74U.
Got the crank in the back seat, and that's a 545 gun. That is a true crank.
One of the most fascinating underworld
Look at all
codes among the world's major organized crime groups. Unlike career criminals of other global underworld traditions, such as the Italian mafia, who often mingle seamlessly.
Stupid fingers. Hit the right button.
Traditional Russian.
Yeah, look at that. Let me back it up a little bit.
All right, you got 1911. I see a couple Makarovs. What else we got here? We got a couple of revolvers.
19, a Mac, a Toke. That looks like a Taurus Judge, damn near.
I see a Walther
that
PPK
actually
there.
looks like a fucking Sky.
I see a Walther PPK there too. I definitely see a Toke. See the Toke right in the middle?
Yeah, I see the Toke. Okay, that was screwing me up. There's a blade laying right behind the gun that's kind of engraved. That had me messed up. I was thinking, what the hell is it? But it's a blade laying there. You can see the 1911 mags. That silver, I don't know whether that's a Walther. I don't know. There's a shitload of guns there, and they're all illegal, but guess who has them? The criminals.
They don't give two shits.
No, fuck no.
Mafia, who often mingle seamlessly in the upper world.
All right, let's see what's in the bag.
Traditional Russian
Hold on, I got to back it up for a second.
Often mingle.
I will say this: the laser engraving on that gun is nice.
That's an old Soviet pistol.
Yep. And I swear to God, that looks like a Sky. I could be completely wrong. It looks like a Sky with like an aftermarket grip.
Sure, it looks like a Makarov.
Oh shit! They got the K-bar up there. It looks like a
That's a holster.
holster for a speed loader, actually. That's the holster or the scabbard for the K-bar up there, I'll bet money.
That's a Walther.
Is that a Walther?
No, that's a Makarov.
The Makarov.
That one?
I wish I could zoom in more on this thing sometimes, but
If it's a red Bakelite grip, that's a Makarov. The one
yeah,
on the
you
right,
do got
though,
yeah.
Yeah, the one on the right though looks like a Walther. There's two Walthers up there in the right side corner.
Yeah, and that grip's not separated. That's a single. So you're probably right. That's a bait grip. It looks like the mag release is down here on the handle. So yeah. Anyway, fun for the criminals come
such
home.
as the Italian mafia, who often mingle seamlessly in the outfit.
Yeah, let's see what's in the bag.
The traditional Russian thieves.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Never cooperate with any government.
Another bag.
And never to earn an honest
A
wage.
nice crank. That's another
In this
545.
scene from December 2015, a large gathering of men aligned to two separate groups of Russian boars.
Oh yeah,
was cut
you're
short by
probably
Moscow
right,
police,
Bart. It could be a Versa.
backed up by Russian special forces.
That's Spetsnaz.
They're the
Scoop.
guys in
That's
the
Russian
black ski
Spetsnaz.
masks.
These guys don't play.
It's a large-scale Russian version of stop and frisk.
Got the
Police
FSB.
detained 53 men that day, gathering at a country club in a suburb of Moscow. More than half of them had prior
Look at them all
criminal
down, man.
convictions. A search of the men and their high-end vehicles also uncovered 10 handguns, 4 Kalashnikov assault rifles, and sundry knives.
Hold on.
Several
I
of them
gotta
also
argue with
bore
Bart
the
here. I
telltale
got to argue with
tattoos
Bart.
of the boars.
Oh, I
Garish,
hit the right buttons
deeply
here.
symbolic ink, usually done in print.
Okay, so yes, Barton. The first gun I bought was a 1911, and like the second one I bought was a 30-06. However, I redeemed myself and started building AKs from scratch after that. That erased my whole futtitude and got me back to the right condition. So Fuds don't build AKs. I just got to say that. Fuds don't build AKs. And they also don't build their own tools to build the AKs.
Prison. It tells others of their dedication to the
First gun I ever built from the ground up was an AK.
The meeting was
And
to
it
be a
worked.
sit-down between two groups over this BMW
Proving Jim
X6
Fuller's
seen
point.
here. Apparently, a member of one group sold the BMW to a member of the other without first warning him that it was stolen.
Друзья? А кто друзья? Друзья кто? А по какой статье вы ранее судимы? Давно освободились?
The buyer considered this a great insult and sought compensation, if not revenge. About 30 men from each side came to the meeting at the Ivanhoe Country Club.
Зачем?
Tokarov.
Вы ранее судимы? А что вы делаете в Подольске? Кому в гости? А часто вы в Подольске ездите? А вы работаете? А где? Где?
Man, they beat this
Что
guy up
делать
pretty
в
badly.
Подольске?
Could be wrong.
Вы ранее судимы? Наркотики употребляете? Где
Coop, you
работаете?
mute.
So I got a little confused on who said it. I was merely explaining my position. Fuds don't build AK. Friendly fire.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give the video a thumbs up. And please comment down below. Tell me what you think.
All right, check out the next one, dude. You'll like the next one.
All right, did you email that one to me?
Yeah, I did. That's the last one we'll check over.
Was it the new suspect in St. Petersburg?
Yep, that's it. Yeah, and this is the Russian FSB. They caught wind of this guy, and they actually tumbled him to his ass to the ground, man.
Oh, dude. Russian law enforcement does not play.
Yep. And from my understanding, certain places it's illegal to have or possess a handgun over there in Russia.
Oh, no doubt. But do you think that stops the freaking Russian mafia from doing any damn thing?
Nope.
Shit, no.
Yeah. Check this out. This is what happens when you mess with FSB, dude. You do not want to mess with these guys in Russia.
Like we're saying, we're going to make drugs illegal. They're all going to disappear. Oh, they so tuned him up during that camera clip.
Familia.
Notice the hold on. Notice the jump in the video. Okay, so dude grabs him. The jump in the video, then he's laying on the ground. Tell me he didn't get tuned up before that video.
Familia.
Азимов.
Имя.
Аброр.
Отчество.
Охранович.
За что задержано? Догадываетесь?
Да.
Makarov.
Yep.
He's only got 4 rounds in that thing, plus something in the chamber, maybe.
Like how dude's got it pointed at his back the whole time he's manipulating it. If he had an ND right there, just shot the dude right in the spine. Thanks for that one, Barney fucking Fife.
He's pulling in his ass, why don't you?
Yeah, just go ahead and hold it to my spine while you manipulate it with your white tip gloves on, as a matter of fact.
Put a 9x19 round in my ass. That's not smart.
Yeah. Right into the small of the back. It won't hurt anybody.
So yeah, do Russian gun laws work? They don't.
No, man, none of these gun laws work. And that's kind of the issue that we've touched on plenty of times is your gun laws are only going to affect people who want to obey laws in the first place. Now, if you have a law that says if you use a gun in a certain situation, then it's, you get more time for something like that. Depending on the way it was written, I could get behind something like that. But when you talk about the mere possession of something being the crime itself, no, I'll never get behind that at all.
Yep.
When we're talking about guns and other things like that. And it kind of goes back to the same thing. If I have this object and I never harm anybody with that object, wrongfully, I should say, then that shouldn't be a crime.
Yep.
And that one judge, was it today or yesterday? Well, what about man-portable tactical nukes? You can't use a tactical nuke without harming others just by the very presence of the radiation, you jackass.
You might as well go to Chernobyl and just end yourself there.
Yes. I mean, stick a fuel rod up your ass and go walk around like a popsicle at that point. What if I had fairy dust with plutonium and I just scattered it all over the place? Well, that kind of affects people wrongfully, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
So,
hey, and Coop, I appreciate the invitation, and I'm glad you took your time to do this and hang out for a little bit.
Hey, man, no, dude, I always love doing the stream with you.
And I hope you took some good information on this crazy stuff.
Oh, man. Dude, it's to be honest with you, Russian gun culture. Like I said, I wasn't aware necessarily about Russian gun culture until a couple of years ago when I was watching Jim Fuller, the Mac Daddy of building beautiful AKs. Did some video on a trip where he was over in Russia and did some stuff for the gun culture in Russia. And it's amazing. They love their freedom as much as we do. Probably the biggest difference is sometimes is they realize they're getting out of the cage to get more freedom. And in the United States, a lot of times people are just giving the freedom away to stay in the cage.
Yep. And the thing is about Russia, it's a kingdom. It's an old kingdom. That's what it is based on. It's based on the old czars and their mindset of taking power. That's what that country is about.
Yeah, well, you've had a country that for hundreds of years has just been absolutely beat down by the czars, by
the Soviets.
You've had so much oppression there that people just merely being able to own a firearm is this massive thing. And in here, in the United States, we're just fighting to keep owning the guns that we have. So that's.
It's like it was those other two countries that have gun ownership, Switzerland and Finland. Finland actually takes their gun ownership seriously because they don't want to be invaded by Russia.
Well, Finland and a couple other places right now are stressing civilian ownership and civilian training because they realize that there is a very high likelihood of something coming down in the neighborhood of warfare that could affect them, and they want everybody in their country trained, period.
Yep.
Funny now that they're actually realizing that after things get this bad instead of realizing it before, but hey, welcome to the party.
Yep.
Boy, what are you doing?
Yep. Hey, so Coop, after we end this, I'd like to chat with you for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Just real quick,
Yeah, no problem, brother.
Yeah, but guys, this is all about Russia, dude. It's just a small tidbit. You can always go on YouTube and find out Russian gun culture, their gun laws, their regulations, and also just what you can and can't do over there. It's really interesting, actually, what you can actually own there in Russia. Like, for one example, I found out you can actually own if I'm correct, you can buy a PPS H41 with some level of restrictions and hoops you got to go through, even an MP40. So,
oh, dude, it's like I said, I've got to find the specs on that. And I think I found it after Jim Fuller went through all his stuff, and it's basically an AK. The cartridge is extremely similar to a 7.62x39, but it's an actual shot shell. And that's one of the smooth bores that Russians can get before they move on to something with a rifled barrel. And it was a very interesting cartridge. And I do believe they could do it was almost a form of a slug with it, but it still had shot behind it. So where they got around the whole smooth bore restriction and stuff. I don't know. If we didn't have so many different calibers in the United States already, I think that caliber could actually catch on, or that cartridge. We'll see. There's everything's what's going on as far as innovation.
Now, you couldn't use a shotgun load in a rifled barrel. I know that would shot it out. You have to use smoothbore, correct?
Kind of depends on the shot you're using. So if I've got a rifled barrel, I don't want to be shooting steel shot out of it because steel shot's going to eat my rifling up. If I'm using a rifled barrel and I'm shooting some lead shot, as long as I'm not doing it like constantly, then it's not going to foul out my rifling. And I typically probably won't have too many issues. Okay. Someone seriously into the rifle shotgun could probably correct me on that. But it's steel shot, no matter what, unless you're using certain grade barrels, steel shot will eat everything out of your barrel. I've seen some barrels where guys have duck hunted for a long time using steel shot, and their barrel was basically not tempered to handle steel shot. And when you look down the barrel, you could damn near see a rifling pattern, but it was a steel shot actually eating the barrel up.
So it's just metal against metal, huh?
Yeah, it's just metal against metal because you're pushing steel, actual steel shot. So something similar to surgical steel down a regular shotgun barrel, and it'll eat them up.
It's just eroding it.
Yeah, it's just eroding it. I mean, and these guys are firing, cases of shells every year, and it's just eroding that barrel. Some of them they'll actually eat out, and especially if they don't screw the choke in all the way or the choke loosens on the inside of the barrel and scoots a little bit, it'll blow the choke right out the end of the barrel just from use. And that can be one of those oopsies that doesn't do you a whole lot of good. It'll basically separate the end of your barrel. Can those barrels, in some cases, depending on the barrel length, can be cut down and still be an operational shotgun. But again, you've only got so much barrel length to deal with before you get underneath that 18-inch length, and then you're into SBRs, and you might as well just go ahead and rebarrel the damn shotgun, which in a lot of cases on a shotgun isn't very hard. It's going to cost you, depending on the shotgun, the barrel, anywhere from $200 to $600 for like a standard pump action or semi-auto to put a new barrel on it. But still, I mean, that's if you don't have that money on hand, you basically got a paperweight at that point.
Yep. So yeah, those today on yeah. Oh, Russian gun orders.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and end this one. Warsaw, we'll hang out for a minute, shoot the breeze, and then I'm going to end it and then try to cook some dinner and stuff and then catch up with LIFOs and kiddos before we get on Todd or before we watch Todd stream later. So,
yep, sounds good.
You guys keep an eye on that. Or hold on, do I have it up? If I have it up, I will post a link for it.
Freedom Steel. Yeah. Shoot, I should got that actually. My bad.
It should be. Damn, it should have been right there, I thought. Hold on, I might have to do a quick search.
I got it here. Hold on.
Ooh. It'd help if I would click on the right shit.
Yeah, I got it. Here's a link for his channel. Freedom Steel.
Todd
Vandermine.
So Todd's one of the good guys. Todd's been fighting for a long time for our rights. And he's going live at 10 tonight. So if you guys can join Todd, join Todd. I should be in the chat unless something catastrophic happens. And we'll be in there supporting Todd. And we're trying to put together a show with Todd here in the next little while. It just depends on how some things happen, to where we can maybe try to put some pressure on the House Judiciary Committee to start telling some of these federal judges, because the House Judiciary has oversight of them, where we can get maybe them in some hearings. We'll see. It's kind of a snowball's chance, but hey, at least it's a chance.
Yep. And it's better not doing anything.
Yeah. It's better not doing anything. I mean, it's why a lot of us do what we do now. Is just so we're trying to at least let our voices be heard, whether it's in a chat, whether it's on a video, you name it. So anyway, let's go ahead and end it here. I'll end it as always. I'm going to show my wife's gun off. So you perps be cool. Keep that thing on you at all times. Love each and every one of you guys. And we're out. We will catch you guys on the next one. Later, guys.